Hi everyone, Alexandra here from the Jupiter Moon Project channel, and I'm so happy you're here with us today for the new moon wisdom gathering, new moon in Cancer, which was just I think 3 days ago. Yeah, so we're running a little bit late here, but still, I think the energy is rather potent for this new moon. And yeah, before we dive into that a little bit, we will just come into this space together and drop in. So if it feels comfortable, just close your eyes and feel yourself seated, resting in your seat, grounded in your seat. Just take a few deep breaths in and slowly exhale. And as you do so, with every breath you take, your body relaxes deeper and your mind lets go. Just relaxing with every breath you take. Letting go of all the concerns of the day so far, and anything that might be in the future. All that matters right now is here, you being fully present and relaxed. Feel your feet on the earth. Feel connected to earth. And I would also like to bring attention to the water element within you. This new moon is in Cancer, which is a water element moon. And how do you feel the element of water within you? Is it the blood moving through your veins? That constant ebb and flow that is happening through your whole being, without you even noticing or without you having to do anything, but it's there. Give it some attention. How does that feel for you? And slowly be aware of your breath again. Taking a deep breath in and out again. And coming back into your space around you. And when you feel ready, just open your eyes. And let's explore this new moon energy.
That's very nice. Thank you.
Yeah. So, Monday was the big day. And yeah, for me, I felt it to the core. I felt that Cancer energy that the new moon can be quite challenging for me personally, where the energies like are pulled in, and I feel there's a lot of tension in my physical being that happens, and I can actually feel when that shift, when the new moon shifts again to the waning energy, because then my body starts releasing and being in a more uh, expansive space again. So I'm wondering, how is it for you, ladies?
For me, it was.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Masha, please.
For me, it was very potent as well, because I don't know how I managed to time it, but yeah, the 15th of July, our wedding day, it was kind of the. I think when Gemini it was just like last stages of Gemini probably.
It was.
And I don't know what time it went into Cancer in the UK / Europe, but probably just as we were sitting down to our wedding breakfast or something. Probably. I have to check.
We'll have a look.
Yes, please. It was very well timed. Not that I've timed it like this, but but it was it was very strange. Here in the UK, the weather was like, we thought we're gonna have hail here on our wedding, so we didn't actually. So the weather was crazy because it was like raining in the morning, and then the sun came out, and then we managed to get some pictures after the ceremony outside. And then eventually, when we sat down to the wedding breakfast, it started pouring down. So there's lots of water energy all of a sudden. But it was interesting. It was so nice to, in a way, I was a little disappointed because we were hoping for outdoor ceremony. That was the plan. But being there with family and friends, people we love, in that sort of cozy environment where we had to be inside and the water was pouring down outside in buckets, it was something different, something else. And then I remember, and it was a beautiful day. And I remember next day on Sunday, I took a bath in salts. I had some salts with me because we were booked into like a bridal suite. So I had like a beautiful bath, like rota bath, and I took a bath, and then Monday we had a trip to Legoland with the family, and then Tuesday we went to the seaside and we did crabbing. And I was telling my brother and my sister-in-law, because my brother is a Cancerian, and his daughter is a Pisces, my sister is a Pisces, my father is a Pisces. And it's like weird. And I'm in evolutionary astrology, I'm evolutionarily moving towards Pisces myself. Pisces moon. But I'm in evolutionary astrology, my evolution is towards Taurus, so it kind of takes a step back, one sign backwards. So it's interesting that my evolution is towards moon in Pisces. So, but it's interesting that with this new moon in Cancer, we went crabbing as a whole family. We went fishing, eating fish and chips. We went on a boat trip. We went across the little peninsula on a ferry, and before that we did crabbing, because my little niece, she was so super keen to do crabbing, because all the English kids, they buy buckets, plastic buckets, and they do like fish for crabs on a line, and you have to purchase, like, get some bait from a fish shop. So it was all that kind of, and I was even telling my sister-in-law, your husband is a Cancer. So we were fishing for crabs now, and and then we released those crabs. And my brother loves fishing in general. He loves fishing, and he even takes his little daughter fishing with him. She's 7 years old, and she loves that. And it's funny because we released all the crabs back to water afterwards, and they were moving obviously sideways, running away. And as we were watching them, we were saying bye-bye and waving to them. And there was this one crab who, bless him, or it it had like seaweed attached to it, and we were like laughing because somebody said remove the seaweed from away from it because it can't move, because it wasn't having it. It wasn't going away to the sea. It was just standing on the beach and just motionless. And my sister said, "Don't remove this seaweed. It's like a mane. It's like a fringe for this crab. You know, it's attached to part of the head." So I was like, and eventually, even this crab went away and dove into the sea, and we all said goodbye to the crabs. And so it's all very like that, you know. Like I said, I didn't plan it like that, but just the life just gives you those ideas and things that you just flow with it. And I just couldn't stop I was just amazed. I was in awe. Like, what are we doing? Actually, it's Newman in crab in Cancer. And we are doing crabbing.
Especially because it was a family gathering as well. It's just so, that's really beautiful. Thank you for sharing that experience with us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you were doing exactly the right thing at the
what
right
we're
time.
supposed to be doing, exactly.
Yeah. And on Saturday, it shifted in the evening. So it must have been 6:15 your time, PM.
Okay. All right.
But you can always feel that day that the energies shift.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, thank you. Karen, how about you?
So I was born near the new moon, like on a balsamic moon. So, but my birth was very challenging. So very challenging. So I think depending upon the sign, now this was a water sign, I really felt around this sign, I mean, it's both Cancer, sun and moon. So, you know, we were getting a double dose almost of all that Cancerian watery energy. And I usually do really well with water because I have so much water in my chart. But I think we were talking earlier, I think a lot of, I was really in some end cycles here where processing some grief, processing some things that really needed to be worked through. And I really didn't want to do it. I wanted to more disconnect and not tap into those places that kind of were hurting. So painful. And yeah, so I think this energy was, I'm feeling better now. How's that?
Good.
Feeling better.
Good.
I did do that water ceremony that I shared. So that helped. I did that later in the day. Really, I also went to aquatics that day on the new moon. So first time I'd been in like 5 weeks. So just getting into that water felt really just, oh my God, so wonderful. So I wanted, I think some of that release really helped me process what I was going through the last few weeks. So
yeah.
It was interesting. I had my nephew, who I just had recently connected with again after 20 some years. My brother's son had died. My brother had died, and he's just now, he recently has connected with me within the past few months. We hadn't talked for so long, and he's been asking a lot of questions about. My father died when I was 3. So that kind of side of that family, we were very disconnected with. And he's been feeling like he doesn't know so much of himself because he doesn't know anything about that side. His father died when he was young and my father died. And so it was interesting that he reached out yesterday and was questioning some of those things about the Riverty family. So about that side. And that, to me, that's that Cancerian energy also, that wanting to know family and relationships and
being together and exploring family, definitely a big theme here. Going on, So I've just come back from traveling and with all the family experience as well, and that's Yeah, interesting energies going on there. But it's definitely a big issue, and we or rather, I feel that I need to address it when this kind of when this moon and even the sun comes, and also being supportive of my own experience and being trying to nourish my own yeah, being mindful of what's going on within and nurturing myself. I think that's a big
Absolutely.
thing, for this season, definitely. Yeah, as we move forward now into a different season with Leo then coming up as well. But I too feel, because Cancer is reigned by the moon. It's a moon sign, which represents the mother. And then Leo is reigned by the sun, which represents the father. So we actually have the two family aspects coming into our awareness right now. And I think it's starting with our origins. Yeah, where are we? Where do we come from? And maybe going even back a little bit and connecting with some ancestral energy as
Ancestors,
well.
yeah. Maybe healing some of the relationships we had that, yeah, there's those, they always ask us, I mean, what I have learned was always put the healed and positive ancestors onto your altar and ask for their guidance. But, geez, how do we really dive deep into those shadowy parts unless we can connect with some of those traits that we didn't want to bring forward, that that we didn't want to see from those other ancestors? So maybe we can really help to heal the dysfunction and pain along the way if we look into some of those that were, I don't know, I definitely have some familial lines that whew, yeah. But I've been working with that stuff for the past 30 years. I mean, with
I don't think that ever
lots of different
stops.
ways.
It's
No,
something that
it
keeps
does.
on going and evolving, and yeah, it's like a spiral. We always come back in a different iteration, in a different place again, but we come back to the same things. And this is a time of year where I feel looking at our direct origins is a good thing.
Yeah, and the Cancer is like a cardinal sign.
Yes.
And gives like because it's the emotions, right? It's the mother, and then obviously followed by the father, like parents said, by the Leo and Sun. I think with this new moon, there was like there's an opportunity for us to push for give, because it's a cardinal sign's action, to help us push for like a release or a major breakthrough with regards to our emotions.
Yeah.
I felt it really helped me as well, to Karen's point about connecting with my mom and dad. And yeah, it was interesting. I think one of on the app, I have some cards or whatever, I can't remember which, or whether I pulled the card. It was all about releasing and forgiveness. I actually did like a clearing session as well with my friend who does this kind of work. It's very powerful. And we came to the conclusion, she pulled some angel cards for me. We came to the conclusion there's some clearing with regards to my father, and we did a release. And I felt my dad was the one who was taking me to my husband, and so I felt there was a lovely connection, and there was like lots of forgiveness I did, and then it was interesting because, again, I think I pulled the card throughout this period of my wedding, up to the time before the wedding, spent time with my family after the wedding as well. They were here for a week, and I had an opportunity to look into like my relationship with my mom as well, and like releasing some patterns there, and kind of like a bit of forgiveness, and but yeah, looking into like patterns, those patterns that we haven't released yet, because we were all here so close together, and they normally don't come here, they don't stay here. Like, it was my dad's first time seeing this particular house I live in, my house, so he's never seen that before. And it's interesting because my mom, we went out to a restaurant, and my mom had like some sort of emotional reaction. She didn't want to eat any food. She was just sat there like in protest. And I was like looking at her, and I was like, and I think that day I pulled a card, something about reparenting yourself. So almost like that kind of detachment. Your parents are here with you, but you have to reparent yourself.
And that's exactly it.
Yeah. They're here with you, but you've moved on, and you know, even though they perhaps in a way, maybe they do these funny things that parents sometimes do with not releasing completely. The child is still like attached to the, you know, the umbilical cord, and but they have to. And I did like cord cutting with my friend who does the kind of energy work, and I purposefully reached out to her to help me before my wedding, and to do some sort of like a spiritual session, because I felt like I needed to release some things that I haven't released, and I want to go into this new chapter with like a clean, almost like clean slate, you know.
Sure.
Everything that I can. And I felt like it went back to my ancestral line, definitely, that kind of clearing that we did it, because she even mentioned my great parents, you know, going back to my dad's issues, going back through the line, ancestral line, and clearing, helping clear the debris, you know, that people not aware, but they're carrying with them all the time. So yeah, I just felt like it was so powerful, but I was so glad I did it with her, because I trust her, and I knew that, you know, it would be well intentioned. And you know, I did get a little gift from her for my garden as well. And I knew that, yeah, I can trust her completely with, with the cutting cords, and she wouldn't do any harm, if you know what I mean. She wouldn't mess me up.
Oh, definitely. I definitely know what you mean. So
yeah.
I didn't want to I didn't want to be like a sobbing mess, a sloppy mess on my wedding day. I want to be strong and in my own power. And
that's beautiful.
I think we did that.
Beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, so thank you for sharing that, Kasia. And the reparenting is a good thing here. Also, I think that these 2 months, Cancer month, July and August, are also the invitation to connect with our little ones. So that's why reparenting is exactly the right thing, and see what we really need and what brings us joy, and how do we want to express ourselves during these summer months. Yeah. Karen, I think you wanted to say something.
I was going to say that, you know, what we are talking about right now really kind of brings me to the crystals that came forward.
Yes, please share the crystals.
I mean, it was yeah. So it was I have two, and it's interesting that both of them well, the first one is prehnite. I have a couple different examples, and you know, this beautiful, here I had to wear the green too today, you know, I just needed that soft, loving, gentle feeling flowing over my heart, you know. And prehnite is like a water elemental stone. It really supports you and helps you to live in a heart perspective manner, you know, get that. Oh, yeah, it's heart-based perspective instead of fearing, you know, instead of that fear-based. It really encourages you to kind of be prepared for whatever's coming next. It's very supportive. It links your heart with your will. So Oh, it really enhances the qualities of the mind and the emotional responses that are challenging for you. So it's a stone of unconditional love, and it really enhances inner knowing. So that stone really popped for me today as I was going through my home. And so prehnite is one. It was interesting that the companion stone that I chose is infinite. And this is like an earth-based stone, but it's got that lovely green. And here, this is a stone that really supports grief and release and letting go. So both of those, for me, these last few weeks, it was really necessary to just, I'm going to be sitting with these the next few days, and maybe one more so than the other at first. And I have been going through some grief and feeling alone, feeling not enough, feeling all those issues and things that pop up for me on occasion. The onion, the layers, they keep on coming. As we say, it's a spiral. So infinite, it kind of works on a cellular level, and it disperses some of those energetic patterns that cause intense emotion, sorrow, heartbreak, fear. It helps to clear the blockages. So infinite is an also wonderful one to connect you with the energies of nature. So if you want to sit outside and bring the stone out. You can, even work with fairies and divas if you want to with infinite. So it's spelled the same way as infinite, but infinite, is what. So those were my two stones that came forward. Both that beautiful green, light green, lush color that really, to me, kind of is a heart-based crystal.
Yeah, so. I'm really.
And if you don't have the stone, again, look for a picture online. If you want to connect with the energy of that stone, look for a picture. If you don't have the actual stone, or of course, always open to go out and find your own for whatever you want to connect with in this this season here. So. And they are beautiful. Yeah, that's infinite. They have that nice gray color in mixed with it. And prehnite. And I'm not one that does too many tower stones, but this one just called to me. I usually do more natural. I do have some beautiful little, usually like prehnite balls. You find them like that too. So anyway.
I really love that they are connected to the heart chakra, the heart space, especially because Cancer is and Leo now coming up, especially Leo, connected to the heart, to our emotions, and
so that's I didn't want to pick a stone out of a bag today. I wanted to put the intention out there and mindfully walk through my home and open my drawers, whatever I have. I have crystals here, there, everywhere. So just what came forward. So that's kind of how I chose the stones today that came to me. And I didn't want to pull out of the bag. I wanted a little more intentional choice. Almost like, well, it was still waiting for that divine message, just like when we pull a card, it's a random pull, but you can do it an intentional pull as well. So.
Thank you so much for bringing those stones to our awareness. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. I think I will pull a card for the collective now, and then we will wrap up a little. I am using the Shadowscape Tarot today.
Oh, wow. I haven't seen
Yeah,
that in a while. It's such
neither have
fabulous.
I. And
Yeah.
I like the quirkiness, and it speaks to my inner child, this deck. It's fun. That's why I pulled it.
It is fun. I wish they had larger cards though.
Yeah.
I think they have a Czech edition that does have larger cards. Yes.
A what edition?
I believe it's a Czech,
Okay.
a Republican, a Czech
Czech.
edition.
Okay, Czech. Yeah. Okay.
Czech Republic edition that
Okay.
has larger cards. I tried to get them. I just pretty much have to use the app because they're just for me, my eyesight isn't as good as it used to be. So they're very kind of hard to, they're so amazing.
I'm not using the Shadowscape. I'm using the Shadowlands. My goodness.
Okay.
I haven't used both in ages, and I know what you mean about the Shadow.
Stephanie Law, yeah, Stephanie Law
does really the artwork. I use the app for that one because I can get into the detail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Shadowlands. Goodness. Here we go. Here we go. Just one more. Yeah. It's
and the Knight of Cups. What fun.
Knight of Cups. Goodness. Yeah. A water card for the Cancer season. Yeah. I like that he's holding, or she's holding the heart and the star, and then there's the sun as well. And there isn't much motion in this card, even though it's a night card. But there's a little bit, yeah, the water behind is in motion, and it's reminding me that things might be a little bit rocky at times, and yeah, wavy and turmoil maybe even, but this night is consistent. I feel has a slower energy to it, even though it's not the Knight of Pentacles, but still I feel that the Knight of Cups is like very thoughtful on moving forward, very thoughtful about matters of the heart. I find it links very well to Karen Stones as well, and really being mindful of your own needs as you move forward. Yeah. How do you ladies see the Knight of Cups?
It's holding your heart. You know, that's the God, what is that? When you're doing that, that I go on, pass for me for a moment. I will come back to you. I'm trying to think of that. What is that a social thing that we use where you're see, I can't even think. Go ahead, pass me, and I'll connect that because it'll come. It'll come.
Okay, first of all, welcome, Ruth. We are just pulling a card for the collective, and later on, just a little bit, we will move on to pulling cards for ourselves as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so the Knight of Cups. How do you feel about that card? Ruth or Kasia?
For me, it's always a hopeless romantic. The knight in a shining armor reading poetry.
Somebody who holds your heart. Yes.
Someone who's, perhaps a little, I don't want to say out of touch with reality, but they're definitely in somewhere in the clouds, in a different different stratosphere, and definitely sensitive, sensitive
Yeah.
people, sensitive to wearing the heart on the sleeve, as you said. That kind of, I have this romantic image in my head.
Yeah, definitely romantic, and definitely also quite creative. Quite a creative person, and can be in another deck. The meaning of this card, I always remember it when this card comes up. It's also discovering the Holy Grail within us, within ourselves.
That's beautiful.
So
yeah.
it's definitely connecting to our own heart space. Yeah.
So that test you take, whether you're an introvert, extrovert, do you guys know what you call that? There's many out there, but there's one, and they have initials for it and all that. I can't remember.
Yeah,
Myers-Briggs.
Thank you.
that's it.
And that, I believe, is my card.
Mm-hmm.
The Knight of Cups. And I think exactly what Kasha said, that I do have my head in the clouds most of the time. So a dreamer type of, imaginative, things like that. I think I'm based more there than here. But so that is, and I used to think, oh, that's not my card, but I'm romantic, I'm all those things. So it does kind of make sense. So I was trying to think of that Myers-Briggs. Thank you, because that's why I say pass. I can't think of that word. So I did also draw an oracle card for the collective, if you'd like.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is from Heavenly Bodies Astrology, that new deck that I've just got. It's kind of beautiful. And this one is House 11. And it says friends, like-minded groups, and humanitarian beliefs. So again, you are relationship based in this card. I'm going to have to read a little bit of this because I didn't really. It reflects your social and humanitarian concerns. And it's the adult who steps outside of themselves and operates as part of a larger whole. So the keywords are friends, wishes for the future, social and humanitarian beliefs, and humans are meant to commune and collaborate. So often beings feel lonely, alien, and out of place. Oh boy, considers the person you have grown into, what your current passions and interests are, and begin sharing the lens through which you see life. So that kind of fits in with that Cancerian theme that we've been discussing, all about relationships, and me, especially where I've kind of feeling alone and outside and all that. So I thought this was a quite beautiful card. It has mountains and four birds on a branch, gathering. So quite a lovely card. The House 11. So
House 11, Aquarius.
House 11.
Yeah, they use the Aquarian definition, wishes and hopes.
But
and that's exactly what it says, the natural home of hidden Aquarius. So yeah, forward thinking Aquarius, not hidden. Yeah, that's what that was.
And to tie it into the Cancer theme, I think that House 11 and Aquarius are also us choosing our own family, choosing the people who we want to surround ourselves with and be close to.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Who lift us up, and which people will nourish our path. And
where you fit
not
in
just ourselves, but also we are in communion with the others as well. So we're supporting each other.
It's funny, Alexander, when you talk about that, I think about a sun sign, Cancer, with a moon in Aquarius. Somebody who definitely has that home feeling, but yet they want to nurture the group experience because they got that moon in Aquarius. And so that's an interesting one when you've got the 11th house with with Cancer, because it's almost like they are someone, as Karen just said, their head is in the clouds because it's air, but yet they got to come home to their heart to find out what they're thinking.
Oh, so those go really wonderful together, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Those cards.
They do.
So
Yes,
I'll post those. I'll post the
Yeah.
cards.
Yeah, we definitely have a you have this deck, don't you?
Yes.
I think we have a lovely combination with the stones that you chose for us, Karen, connecting to our heart space. This also the Knight of Cups. Also a reminder to connect to our own heart space, and yeah, and then the 11th house looking towards a family of choice as well. Yeah, so I think I would like to wrap up here, or do you want to add anything? We good? Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us today, and yeah, I look forward to our next session. That will be new moon in Leo coming up, and yeah, thank you so much for being here, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.